In 2012, Stephanie Ross, a human service worker, went to do and conduct a home visit for, unfortunately, was the last time she would ever conduct a home visit, where she went to a home visit to visit one of her clients who had high violence history, and ultimately the client would kill her that very day. Then also in 2004, a licensed clinical social worker was killed by a 16-year-old client during a routine home visit. In 2011, a social worker was beaten and stabbed to death by a client while serving as a sole night staff at a group home. The client had criminal, violent history and medication not adherence. So what's the point? The point is that as a case manager, you spend a great deal of time visiting homes, whether it's group homes or a family home. That's a great deal of your time. And we often overlook how vulnerable that can leave us if we don't prepare appropriately. So what I want to do is I want to impress upon you that before you step into your first home visit, understand that case managers and social workers have been seriously harmed and killed when trying to do the job of conducting a home visit. If you're not prepared, you can walk into a situation you can't control. So today I want to give you 5 tips to help you prepare and stay safe during your first home visit or any subsequent home visit. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Trusted Advocate. I'm Caleb, a case manager, and today we're going to talk about 5 tips to keep you safe during your first home visit. Let's get into it. Number 1, research the client. So a lot of case managers, when they first start out, they will go check their caseload and they see, okay, I have these many cases. I want to have to go see this individual. So they're excited. They're not taking every precaution. Their first adult job, they're excited and they will just go visit the individual, which is, I guess, the right thing to do. But what you should do before you do that is actually research the individual. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when you're as a case manager, you might have somebody that might have autism, intellectual disability, but oftentimes those diagnoses comorbid with some of the more mental health, behavioral health type diagnosis. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that. So when I say research the client, what I mean is you want to go look into that individual, that client. You want to look into their electronic health record, look at the history of that person, right? Do they have a violent history? Are they aggressive? Are they verbally aggressive? Are they physically aggressive? Do they have a history of assaulting people? Like, you want to make sure you educate yourself on these things because you can prepare properly. Maybe if they have a history of violence, like maybe I don't want to visit this person by myself. Maybe I need to have a coworker come along with me. Maybe I need to have my supervisor come along with me, just for not only for the individual's safety, but also for my safety as well. So you want to make sure you look at all the electronic health records. You want to look at all the history of the individual. Look at the diagnosis. Do they have intellectual disability? Do they have mental health? If they do have mental health diagnosis, what is it? Is it schizophrenia? Is it intermittent explosive behavior? Are they borderline personality disorder? I don't know. Like, you want to make sure you educate yourself and find out what it is, and then look and see what other case managers, because 9 times out of 10, you're not the first person to work with this case if it's not a brand new case. So other people have worked with this case. So see what they've said. Like, go through the notes, go through the records, look at what psychiatrists have said. If they have a mental health diagnosis, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have a psychiatrist somewhere. So get in contact with psychiatrists if you can. Look through what the psychiatrists, what type of medications they're taking. Like, you want to do all of this information to make sure you are fully prepared to see this individual, because at the end of the day, this is your first time seeing them. You don't know if that might be a trigger for them. You might set them off as a new case manager, come and visit them, and they might direct that anger, that aggression, or that frustration towards you. So you want to be prepared for that. So number 1 is going to be research the client. Number 2, very similar to number 1, research the house that you're going to, right? So that's a big one. A lot of people, they don't even think to do this, but it's wise. If you're going to a group home, or more importantly, if you're going to an individual's house for the first time, right? You don't know what to expect. So what you want to do is the internet is an amazing thing, right? So everybody's using the internet, AI, whatever the case may be. So you can go on the internet, you can go on Google, right? The largest search engine, or you go there and type in the individual's address, the family address, wherever you're going, and just look up that, research the house, see where it's located, right? You want to see, do they have parking lot? Do they not have a parking lot? Are you going to have to park in the driveway? Do you have to parallel park? I know a lot of people are afraid of parallel parking, right? Do you need to parallel park? Do you need to front park? Do you need to back in to make sure that if something happened in an event, that something breaks out, you can jump into your car and you can just pull out of the parking spot immediately? Also, you want to make sure when you're looking up the house, the townhouse, the single family home, condo, whatever, you want to make sure you identify where the exits are in the home, right? You want to know, do they have a front door? Do you have a back door? Garage. You want to make sure you identify the windows. You want to make sure you know where those exits are in the home. and you want to check visibility as well, to make sure that that you're visible to any neighbors that might be in the area, that they can see you. You want to make sure that you're just identifying, you're being very diligent, you're doing your research. That is something that you really need to do as a new case manager, especially when you're dealing with somebody that has violent past or violent history, because you want to make sure you're prepared for worst case scenarios. Obviously, we don't hope the worst case scenario happens, but it's better to be prepared and not need it than to need it and not be prepared, right? So you want to make sure you do those things. Research the home. That's number 2. Number 3, share your calendar. And when I say share your calendar, what I mean is you want to make sure when you identify this visit that you're going to do, you want to put it on your calendars. Not only do you want to put it on your calendar, but you want to make sure that it's visible and to share it with coworker, or typically it'll be like a supervisor. You want to make sure that your supervisor know exactly where you are, who you're going to see, just for safety precautions. So if anything happens, your supervisor or coworker can come in and say, okay, Caleb is at this house. He's been there. He's supposed to be back in the office. He hadn't come back. He's been there for 6 hours now. We need to go check it out. Let's go there and check out and see what's going on. So you want to make sure, I don't know, you don't know if you might get kidnapped or something like that. That's an extreme situation, but hey, we live in extreme times. So you want to make sure that you share your calendar to make sure that people know where you are and that they can account for you, and that you're just not on an island by yourself. Because if you think of the reverse, if you don't put it on your calendar, you don't share it with your supervisor, and something does happen, how are people going to find you, right? We don't know where you are. Maybe they just think you didn't come to work today, right? We don't know who you went to go visit, what time you went to go visit them. So we're starting from, with no type of groundwork. We don't know where you are. So it just makes it a little bit easier. It's also an accountability thing as well. We want to make sure you are where you say you're going to be. So that's number 3. Make sure you always share your calendar with your supervisor. That's number 3. Now, this next one is going to be very, very essential, especially for new case managers and even the seasoned case managers, because they often overlook this and they might not even think about it. You come to work, you want to look nice, things of that nature. But number 4 is going to be dress accordingly, right? Like if you know that you're going to somebody's house and this individual has mental health challenges as well, you want to dress accordingly, right? And what I mean by that, you want to make sure, I know, you want to put your best foot forward. You might want to dress nice, look professional, X, Y, and Z, but there's some things you need to keep in mind as well when you're going to visit these people. Number 1, you want to make sure you wear closed-toe shoes, preferably sneakers. You never know what might happen. You might need to get out of there quickly. Client might attack you, and some case managers have been attacked. Like I mentioned earlier, some case managers have been actually killed in the line of duty. I've been attacked as well in group homes, family homes, and oftentimes you would assume if the parents are there, they're going to step in and make sure that something like that doesn't happen. Let me let you in on a secret. That doesn't always happen, and a lot of times the parents can't control it themselves. So you're really walking into like a quagmire, right? Like you don't know what to expect. Like you might not get the support that you think you're going to be getting from the mother or the father if they're together, but oftentimes they're not. So you want to make sure you wear the closed-toe shoes, just in case something like that happens. You can get up, run, get out of there pretty quickly. Another thing, you don't want to wear any tight fitting clothes, no tight skirts for the women, right? No extra tight clothes for the men as well, because you don't know what's going to happen and you need to be able to run, right? Preferably you want to wear something like khakis, jeans or something like that, something where you can get up and go and get out of the house quickly as possible if you need to. Another thing, you want to make sure you don't wear any like overly flashy jewelry or anything like that, particularly because you don't want to in any way symbolize or indicate status, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't know these people. This might be your first time meeting them. Even if you've seen them multiple times, you don't know who's going to be at the house, right? You don't know if they're going to have family over, and you become a target. So you don't want to wear any overly flashy jewelry. You want to wear like neutral colors, the blacks, the grays, blue, stuff like that. Something that's like neutral, that doesn't signify any status or anything like that, so that you don't become a target. So you also want to make sure that when you're out here, like you remember that we're not dressing for fashion, right? We're dressing for mobility and low risk, right? We're dressing for mobility, right? Ultimately, so that we can get up and go and get to our exit immediately if something happens. So keep that in mind. That's number 4. Number 5 is pretty much what I've said in some of my other videos, but it's also important in this video as well, and that is to make sure you keep your client in front of you at all times. So you want to make sure you keep them in front of you, because you're less vulnerable if you turn your back to them. You can always see where they're going. You can see their hand movements. You can see where they're going. Maybe they're going to, get like a weapon or a knife, or whatever the case may be. Surprisingly, there are a lot of knives in these group homes and the family homes. So you want to make sure you don't assume that they're going to secure the place for you. So you want to make sure, like I went to a group family home actually before, and I read the notes, and it was actually a kid. The kid was known for using objects to attack people, X, Y, and Z. And when I was there, he went to an episode and he started, tearing the place up, attacking people, attacking his mom, attacking the behavioral staff, and even attacking me as well, throwing things and trying to hit me and things of that nature. And then he went to the kitchen and he, for whatever reason, got access to the knives. And so what my initial response was to get out of the house. We have behavior supports there. But me, that's when my safety becomes paramount. So my initial inclination is I need to get out of this house, call 911, whatever case may be. But afterwards, I kind of talked to him. I'm like, hey, I thought, we talked and you said that there are no knives in the house. He somehow got access to the knives. That can't happen again, right? That can't happen again, because although I love my job, I love my family more. So I want to make sure I can get back to my family. So we make sure that we take all the necessary precautions. We had a little sit down. And needless to say, that didn't happen again. So that's going to be number 5. You want to make sure you keep your clients in front of you. And also, I want to add that when you're visiting these people as well, you want to make sure it's not too many people there as well. Because if it's too many people there, it could be a distraction. Everybody's might not be paying attention. So if it's too many people there, it might behoove you to try to reschedule to where it's not as busy and say, hey, I know we're scheduled to visit today. It's a lot of people. Maybe we can reschedule for next week. I can come back next week when you have time. Either way works for me. So those are the 5 things that you need to know as a case manager to remain safe during your first home visit. Hey guys, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you like this video, give it 2 thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you never miss one of our weekly uploads. If you like this video, then you'll like our next video where we talk about why case management is necessary. If you want to see that video, click here. Thank you.